Hello, hello, and welcome back to the Kindred Kitchen. We are doing 7 soups. So we'll have 7 soups in a row. And today we are doing one of my husband's favorites, which is pea soup. And actually, this is mostly his recipe. He did give me permission to use it though. So that's what we're taking care of today. V is behind the camera today.
Hello, hello.
And if you do us a favor, go down below and subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you don't miss anything that's going on in the Kindred Kitchen. And we have some exciting things coming up you won't want to miss. So we will put all the ingredients down below so you can just sit back and enjoy the recipe and I guess watch me cook. Okay, so for the pea soup, we're going to get into the ingredients. I have a half of a head of cabbage here, and I will tell you that my husband used a quarter of a head of cabbage, and then he used some kale to add into it. But I had some cabbage on hand, so I just cut it all up.
That seems like a pretty big cabbage too.
Yeah, well, you know cabbage,
Yeah.
once it cooks, it shrinks down,
Yeah.
just like most greens.
Yeah.
I have 3 potatoes. These are pre-cooked, and I have just cut them into cubes, and I will add these at the end. Mostly it's because my husband likes, I don't know, chunks of potato in his pea soup, so I'll make him happy and put it in there. In here, I have 1 onion chopped up. I have 3 small carrots. You could use like 2 medium-sized carrots. I have 2 celery spears, and I have 2 cloves of garlic. And then we are going to use some seasonings. We use a teaspoon of thyme, a teaspoon of oregano, a couple of pinches of the smoked paprika, and 2 bay leaves, which, can I show you these bay leaves? I ordered these bay leaves because we go through a lot of bay leaves, so I ordered them in bulk. They're huge. Yeah. Aren't they huge?
Yeah.
Some of them I had to break in half to get into my jar. These are huge bay leaves. I was impressed. I don't know what, tree these came off of, but it's doing good. And then we will add probably about a teaspoon of salt and a half a teaspoon of pepper, but, salt, adjust it to, what you need. And then I have a 2-quart jar of my vegetable broth. And I will link down below the vegetable broth recipe because this is great. This is a money saver. I save all the scraps from my vegetables, like the cabbage and the carrot ends and the onion peels and stuff, and then I cook up my broth. So I will link that down below. Okay, let's get started. A pound of the split peas, and I've washed these. And this is that bag. If you don't buy them in bulk, if you buy them in a bag, they come in a pound bag. All right, now let me get all the peas off. We don't want to, miss too many here. No pea goes left behind. You're all going to be in my soup. And we will eat this tonight. This will be my family's supper, so they love it. And I hope you're enjoying it. In the fall, the soups are great. So the potato goes in at the end. Here's my cabbage. And I might have to squish this down until it gets cooking, just because cabbage is just so kind of fluffy when you cut it up and everything. Thought I saw something that I didn't like the look of. Okay. Now let's add the rest of the veg in here. And you can see how this is veg heavy. And my husband is actually very supportive of eating a whole food plant-based diet, and he knows that I'm doing 50-50 to lose weight. So he actually supports that, and he cooks, 50-50 meals for me. Now, since my fingers are wet, I'm just going to guess at about a quarter to a half of a teaspoon of paprika. I don't want to actually make a pinch because paprika all over my hands. Okay, thyme. Gonna do a teaspoon of thyme.
What time is it?
Too early for pea soup. I just had breakfast. Oregano. Here's a teaspoon of oregano. Let me put in about a teaspoon of salt and half a teaspoon of pepper, maybe a little bit less. I can always add at the end if I don't like the taste, because you should taste your food when you're done.
Yeah.
I'm gonna add 2 bay leaves, and then I'm gonna add my broth, and then I'll tell you.
Good. Although it's not cooked, but I can smell the
vegetables.
Yeah.
Yeah, like this morning I was, I usually keep my broth in a 1-gallon tub. So this morning I was pouring it into this 2-quart. And the broth just smelled up my whole kitchen. Even though it was cold because it was in the refrigerator, it just smelled so good. And let me see, that looks good. Yeah, the 2 quarts looks really good. Those peas will really thicken it up. And let me find my lid here. And if you do not, you know, this is a Ninja Foodie, and you can use, I'm just gonna cook this for like 20 minutes because I want the peas to be not just cooked, but mushy. But I pressure cook on high for 20 minutes. But if you don't have a Foodie, or if you don't have the Instapot to do that, hold on, let me hit the start button. Then you can cook it on the stove. It's just gonna take longer to cook. It'll take an hour to an hour and a half at a low simmer, and you have to check it every 10 minutes or so, stir it up. But it will get there. It just takes a little bit longer. That's why I love my Foodie. Let me put it on seal, make sure I'm on seal. Okay, so now let me tell you about these. You probably all saw that my spices are all labeled. We're redoing my kitchen. I should be almost done. My countertops are supposed to be in this week. But the one thing I did not like about the way the kitchen was before was we had a cabinet and we kept our seasonings in the cabinet. And so to reach something in the back, I'd have to take them all out, put them down to find something. So in my new kitchen, I have put everything in these small jars and labeled the top, and I put them in a drawer. So they're alphabetized. You pull out the drawer, you pick what you want, and then you put it back. And it is working out great. I'm loving that. They're all, you know, then I buy my herbs in bulk, keep them in a cool, dark place, you know, and you can buy bulk herbs and they'll last for a long time. So that's why I have all the labels on the top. Isn't that great?
Yeah. All
right, so we're gonna let this cook for 20 minutes and then we will be back to check it out. Okay, this is 20 minutes in the, well, this is a Foodie or an Instapot on high. I just let the pressure come down by itself and it smells so good. I'm gonna pick out my 2 bay leaves, the 2 giant bay leaves. Mondo bay leaves.
It smells so good.
I know, doesn't it? And then I am going to add these. Remember I told you I had these pre-cooked potatoes. I just peeled them. They are going in. And I'm just going to put this on a low setting. Not going to pressure cook it. I'm just going to put it on a low saute setting. Just enough for the potatoes to warm up. And then I just mash it just a little. You want chunks of potato in there, you know, so... but I'll mash it up a little. That'll help thicken it and everything. And it will be ready to go. Actually, I'm gonna plate up just a little bit of it. And then I can always pop this in the microwave because, you know, I am so hungry. But it looks so good. And, you know, I mean, more traditional pea soup is like totally smooth. You know, I mean, there are no chunks of vegetables or anything in this, but we really enjoy it with chunks in it. I mean, the peas are all cooked. You can see the green in there, but your onions and your cabbage and everything is still whole in there, and it smells so delicious. I haven't given it a taste yet. Yeah, I haven't given it a taste yet, so I may need to adjust the salt and pepper just a little bit, but those are however you like it. If you like it saltier, or if you're on a salt-restricted diet and you want to cut back the salt, that's all good. So I hope you like this video. Make sure you leave us a comment and let us know what your favorite fall soup is, because it's getting that time of year. You know, everything is happening. The leaves are falling. It's getting cooler, and soups are just that warm, comforting thing that is great this time and through the winter. We hope you're enjoying this 7 soup series, and join us back again tomorrow. Bye for now.